Hi, everybody. Okay, let's make sure everything is working. And because there is so much news, there's so much breaking news, right? So much breaking news. And here we are. We're almost at 1 a.m. in the morning on September 24th, 2025. I'm very sorry about coming on so late, but it couldn't be helped. It just couldn't be helped. There is so much breaking news. And it's good news. It's a lot of good news, and I want to hope to get through this. Okay. On September Make sure. Yeah, it looks like everything is working. Okay. Thank you, Anicia, for coming on so late. Thank you so much for your prayers and your love, and we really appreciate it. Right now in church, I'm doing a study on the powers, principalities, angels, the different types of angels in the Bible. Of course, that's what brought on the Archangel Michael post that I posted. And it is so powerful, and prayers are so powerful. Um, it- it- and God's hand is all over this, all over this. And we're going to have a whole section in the book of just the miracles. And in this case, there's so many miracles in this case because of the heavenly hosts that are just surrounding us and protecting us and giving us direction. And there's no other way to explain it when you read the stories one day, read the stories, you'll be just, your jaw would drop. It will absolutely, it will be a witness to the glory of God and his kingdom and over this case. So um, yeah, I didn't mean to say all that, but it has to be said because today is just such an amazing day. The last 3 days have been amazing, right? Absolutely fabulous, absolutely magnificent, absolutely, you never even would think it. And it's because of our president, Donald Trump. He's just absolutely amazing. And he's fighting for the people. He's fighting for justice. He's fighting for our country. He's fighting for Richard. Richard is a very important part of his administration. And he has made that very, very clear with all of the moves that he has made. And he knows even more, of course, than what we know. He has that intelligence. And so there are things that are happening that domino effect to our good, right? To our good, that we didn't even expect, right? So it really is amazing. And you saw what happened today at the UN. It was just incredible. You saw, and I don't know if you saw his speech at the unbelievable memorial for Charlie Kirk. It was just unbelievable. And President Trump's, to me, that was the best speech there. It was just amazing, amazing speech. Very, very authentic. I think he writes his speeches. He writes his speeches, because they're so authentic. He has no problem delivering them, right? It's just part of who he is. Whether you like what he's saying or not like what he's saying, it comes from him, and you are not deceived. And this whole thing, in Richard's case, is about deception, really major, major criminal deception, not trying to protect intelligence or try to be diplomatic and things, no, this is absolute criminal deception. And so today is a huge day. We did get a confirmation that State Trooper Patrick Brookshier is under investigation, which means that the site that I put up a picture. Please go to Facebook and look at it. Everyone on that site, and you saw Solomon on there. That's Solomon Anusa. He's using his, I believe, his mother's name there. He has a very, very long name. Okay, Solomon has a very, very long name because he's a Samoan leader, but he was a major in the U.S. Army during this whole time, and running mortuary operations. So he absolutely knows who Amber Chase is. Okay, he knows who Amber Chase is. She was mortuary operations, also mortuary affairs. And Trump has such energy. You know, God is working with him. Yeah, through him, over him, around him, through his administration. You're absolutely right, Christine. And his energy is so empowering. And, his patriotism, his positive patriotism, and his stand on accountability. He absolutely knows that we cannot have peace, we cannot have a country unless we have a judicial system that holds criminals accountable. And this is why we received confirmation today that Trooper Brookshier, his violations are many, y'all. I should just do a whole section on him, and I will. It's just so much is happening. So much is happening that it relates and is part of our son's case. And we, don't forget, in the background, behind the scenes, we are identifying the crimes, and we are writing our reports. We're documenting, and we're filing. I wrote seven letters today, that goes through my husband for editing and adding different things. And, it's a big process to do this. So behind the scenes, we are working very, very hard to drive this administration, because don't forget, as much as we love President Trump and several people in his administration, there's still a mutinous, deceptive group in there that are very deceptive, like Sylvia Brune de Firth, right? Like Sam Madrano, Judge Sam Madrano. You saw that today. Um, like Alyssa Nava. There is a group in there that don't care about our country, that don't care about the rule of law, that don't care about justice and what that means for our future, what that means for our children. All they care about is their pocketbook. All they care about is the quid pro quo, like Bob Moore of El Paso Matters and El Paso Community Foundation, the Mormon faction, that's led by the up to no good, and he doesn't seem to be around too much lately. Is Hunt, right? Is Woody Hunt, and that ties this group. This group is a Mormon faction, cartel tied. They're very criminal. They're very involved in the military, because Woody Hunt has like 80% of all housing contracts for the military. Okay. And I mean, he has his financials are very lengthy. They're not amazing like President Trump's, because you can see that he is a fraudster, that he exploits the system. When you look at Woody Hunt's financials, you absolutely, it just reads like, I love to exploit the American people, the American system, and I will do it at any cost, even if it means criminal trafficking, right? Criminal trafficking, and supporting those that let criminals act with impunity. He does things with Soros, and so he is no friend, and he's deceptive because he'll back up like Greg Abbott, right? He'll back up Greg Abbott, but he is not a conservative. Of course, he backs up Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke was his man. They were trying to get in the White House. He backs up Veronica Escobar, right? And so, you know, but it really identifies who Greg Abbott answers to, right? Rick Francis, we posted that up. Rick Francis is like the right hand man for Woody Hunt. Um, so he might make a surprise appearance at the Greg Abbott dinner. I wonder if he's going to pay the $50,000 for the plate for him and his wife. I don't know. But all I know is he's up to no good, and when you understand El Paso Community Foundation, how deceptive that is, because we all think, oh well, that's a foundation, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're probably so good, they're good for the economy or whatever. No, no. Just think about the tenure of his reign of El Paso and what he has done to El Paso. Okay, that should explain things to you when you're driving people into the worst type of lifestyles, and the taxes are so high, the property taxes are so high, and the worst type of crimes going on in Juarez. The Mexican president, Scheinbaum, she's going to go to Juarez, I think, in the next few days, because it is out of control when you have, it's close to 800 now, 800 like executions this year alone, right? You're not talking about accidents, motor vehicle accidents. You're talking about executions. There's like a civil war going on across the border. And of course, that's where the Mormon temples are. Absolutely, Woody Hunt, operates over in Chihuahua, and we have confirmation on that when you know that the owner of Plenitude Crematorium that was trafficking corpses, recycling corpses for, benefit money and all of that, lived right next to, in El Paso, Beto O'Rourke, and many other properties. He has many properties and many businesses and millions of dollars. This is not like some kind of thug, right? This is a business. This is this is a cartel syndicate. It's a cartel syndicate, and they have, they've taken over the system, and with the likes of Sylvia Brunda Firth. Now, that is such a great example of the problem here, because she sits on the board of directors for El Paso Community Foundation, but she also sits on the board of the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. So if you have a complaint about Sam Madrano because of his very light hand, in Molinar's case, William Molinar, who just got a pass really for once again, because he has a history of doing the worst type of crimes against children. He has a history of the worst type of crimes against children. Okay. And this time it was in his truck, and he got a pass again. He really did, by Judge Sam Madrano. Very light hand on the worst type of crimes against children. But we know that he is compromised. We know he's no good. We know he is part of this syndicate, because he was, remember, in the talks with Joe Spencer, when Joe Spencer said, I told Sam Madrano and David Guadarrama, these two judges on the Walmart mass shooting case, that I would take the case, but I'm not going to do it for nickels and dimes. I want an open checkbook. Well, this is before Sam Madrano was even assigned to the case, but they had all worked it all out, you see. They had all worked it all out, and sure enough, they put that fraudulent application for assistance through for Patsy, and uh, Joe Spencer got an open checkbook, millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money. That is that would never happen if Woody Hunt did not let that happen. Okay. That's how powerful Woody Hunt is in El Paso. Okay. And of course, El Paso Community Foundation, where Sylvia Brunda Firth sits, runs El Paso Matters. El Paso Matters is its PR weaponization against those that want to report against what they're doing, like the Walmart mass shooting victims funds that they were fraudulently distributing to unqualified individuals. That's confirmed. Um, and that was being investigated. And so, of course, she used her position on the State Commission of Judicial Conduct, which is the commission that investigates bad judges, right? Judges that violate the rules of conduct. And she, of course, covered and protected Judge Zamadrano for the Walmart mass shooting case, the illegal gag order, the seals and deals, the extended delay. I can go on and on about his bad conduct as a judge, and she protected him. So we know that now. Um, we know because of other judges that are absolutely connected to our son's case. Um, so this is absolutely a group. We can't forget Penny Hamilton, right? And she's not even a judge, right? Because she's not elected. This she needed to be elected, and she's not elected, right? So everything that she did is up for question. So Sylvia Brundefurth can, you know, she has a lot of power because of her positions on these boards. And it's cut short now. It's cut short. She's on her way out. And we're very, very happy about that. Now, breaking news, FBI special agent in charge of the El Paso um, FBI field office has been removed. Morales has been removed from that position, and we have a new person. Did I write it down? I think I wrote it down. Yeah, Jared Brown. Jared Brown is the new special agent in charge at the El Paso FBI field office. So this is interesting. This is an interesting development, but it's breaking news, and they did it very quietly. Normally there's a more fanfare, but and I haven't even had time yet to post on because we've been working on so many other posts, like the whole William Molinar post, right? The whole William Molinar, because over there at K Fox, they're very upset about this light hand, this pass for the worst type of crimes against children against William Molinar, a repeat offender, also the buddy, the horse buddy of Danae Katzen, right? And also the daddy of the satanic um, the satanic witch, the satanic she vile, the satanic vile witch, Amber Chase. And so, and I didn't name her that, okay? She named herself. She's a one practicing dark arts. This has been confirmed, and she is the well, William Molinar has had a baby with her. And that's a long story. And of course, she absolutely threatened us, threatened our lives, and harassed us continually with vile, vulgar. I can't even tell you everything that terrible things that she's done right from the very beginning, too, because she's absolutely in that group with Lilani Hart, and she is mortuary operations, um, and she works at El Paso ISD with Michael Gonzales, the El Paso ISD officer, but he's also president of the Fraternal Order of Police. That's in that group that was just so, threatening our life, right? Threatening us and doxing us, and you name it. They're just such evil monsters. And for Michael Gonzalez to respond the way he did with just trying to pull a William Molinar, I'm saving the horses, right, with my cowboy hat. That kind of playbook instead of like, I'm on this, I am the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, we're on it. We are on your son's case, and we are absolutely going to disavow Amber Chase, disavow Lilani Hart, disavow Lindsay Rowland. We're going to absolutely be on this case. That is how his response should have been. But no, he wants to do, like this PR stunt for himself, like talk his way out of it, um, of his illegal activity. And he's the FPO. Now, the FOP, sorry, the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police. He's the president of the Fraternal Order of Police. Why does this matter? Now, this was so, wow, this was a wowzer today. Crazy wowzer, but it displayed the absolute network of protection here, illegal protection, unlawful protection, wrong protection. With this designation of Antifa, we'll see. We'll see, how that all works out, because this is involving national security threats. This is involving criminal trafficking, not just I mean, the worst type of crimes against children are bad enough, but then you have all kinds of other crimes. And what they did to Richard is displays, and I have to say it. I have to say what they did with the retaliation, with taking his life, with taking him apart, with stealing his remains. They stole his remains and they trafficked his remains. Um, you know, so this has been absolute hell for us, but they are absolute monsters, and we need to stand up to these monsters because their belly is never full. You see that with William Molinar, and if Richard would have been listened to way back then, um, it would have prevented number one, his death, and everything that happened to him, the whole torture and everything. But it would have also prevented a lot of children having to have to go through this trauma, right? To go through this trauma, and some of them lost their lives through the trafficking through Fort Bliss. So these people are very, very guilty for covering up really, really bad crimes of that breached our national security. And so they're under investigation. I can just tell you that right now, because with with Patrick Brookshires investigation. That means those people that were in that same group are being investigated. And, but this whole thing with the FOP, I wanted to let you know that on that list of attorneys for the Fraternal Order of Police, like if a police needs some legal help, they have a list, and on that is Alyssa Nava. Okay, she's on that list. Alyssa Nava was over there defending on KFOX Sam Madrano's very light hand on Molinar, giving Molinar a pass for the worst type of crimes against children. Okay. And of course, William Molinar is good buddies with Danae Katzen. Danae Katzen is married to Jonathan Ambrose. Jonathan Caleb Ambrose was 143 ADA, deployed with 143 ADA. It absolutely connects with Richard and Fort Bliss. So they are all, especially with Amber Chase defending Dallas Hart being Richard's platoon leader and absolutely prime suspect in the murder of Richard, and being the son of Leilani Hart, where she's getting her mail at Dreams Cabaret that's owned by a family that is Patrick Brookshire's family, right? That's his family owning this cartel tied strip joint. So all of that is coming together. It's very clear. People are starting to get it, and we're posting. We hope that you share those posts. That's very, very important. And I will also say that this guilty on all charges for Ryan Wesley Ruth, and his wife, Kathleen Gardner Schaefer. That's very important for everyone to know that, because he didn't operate alone. He had his wife supporting him, and even the evidence shows that it was more than just supporting him. So, he was doing this Ukraine thing. Um, and he was found guilty of attempted assassination of President Trump today on all charges. And the connections with him and all the people around him, um, it really, it that's being looked at, with Charlie Kirk's assassination, and of course what happened to Richard. This is not ended. It's not ended with him trying to put a pin in his neck today. What that shows is that he knows that the house of cards is crumbling, because he has such a long record, y'all. His record is so long. I just posted 10, right, of his most egregious. His record is so long. This Ryan Ruth that attempted assassinating President Trump, and it's the same thing with William Molinar, and and this, so there's this network that lets these criminals act with impunity, and they depend on Sam Madranos and Sylvia Brunda Firth. Sylvia Brunda Firth has oversight on this, and she just covers it up and uses her power to go against her political, or she can use it to weaponize her situation to go against people, and we see that with El Paso matters, right? So I hope this all makes sense. It's really important, because the going back to Danae Katzen, this Alyssa Nava is Danae Katzen's attorney. And so here she is also on the list for the FOP, right? But she is Danae Katzen's attorney, and she's the one that interfered when we were trying to let the judge know in the case that she was a flight risk, that Danae was a flight risk. She had a lot to lose and she was a flight risk. And sure enough, we were interfered with and Danae took off. Danae is a fugitive now, right? She's a fugitive. So, and that was Alyssa Nava. Okay. That was Alyssa Nava that interfered in this, that is now defending the very, judge that's light on the worst type of crimes against children. But Sam Madrano is also known for how he handled the whole Patrick Crucius, El Paso, the Walmart mass shooting. So, she's on this team. She's on this team. Now, why is the Fraternal Order of Police? Why do I keep harping on that? Because Michael Gonzales is the president. Yeah, yeah, because he was in this group, but also because it's the Fraternal Order of Police that's defending through Jeep. What's his last name? Oh, I have to look it up. Jeep. Really, it's an attorney whose first name is Jeep. He's also on that list for the Fraternal Order. Sorry, I need a drink. Um, the Fraternal Order of Police that is defending the killer of Julio Cordero, the hero FBI agent that was killed a little over a year ago at Franklin High School. And sometimes I would say Jefferson, but it's Franklin High School. And so they're defending Anthony Ray Acuna. The FOP is defending Anthony Ray Acuna, the El Paso ISD police officer that shot and killed Julio Cordero. And there's more to that coming, that, because people are seeing our posts, the the despicable reaction of, and it's with sugar, right? They do their despicable stuff with sugar, of Michael Gonzales. His People are seeing that, law enforcement are seeing that. They absolutely recognize it for what it is, a playbook, an act of deception, an act of redirection, an act of, like, just shut up, lady. I'm a nice guy. No, you're not a nice guy. And neither is William Molinar. We've been saying that from the very beginning. And neither is Amber Chase, and neither is Lilani Hart, and neither is Dallas Hart, and neither is Solomon Anusa. They're not nice people, or Tavita Anusa. They're not nice people. Okay, they're fraudsters, and like Danae is a fraudster, like Phil Waters. Remember Phil Waters? Oh my gosh, I have audio with Phil Waters interviewing Danae, and oh gosh, it is just, what I mean, it just absolutely buries him now. It just buries him now. He's just so deceptive and just gosh. They're given a quid pro quo, y'all. They're given a quid pro quo to let these very bad criminal trafficking, cartel tied Mormon faction syndicates do the worst type of crimes, do the worst, and it is so bad. Of course, you see that in my son's case. It's hard to be really, really sad today because there's so many positive things happening. So I'm a little upbeat. I'm pretty, as you can see, I'm pretty upbeat, because things are happening, and the last 3 days were so glorious as far as working towards accountability, that, I'm just saying I need all of you. We need all of you. We are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. You saw that at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. It was all about the people, 270,000 people showing up. That's what it's all about. And it was because of that. It was because of that empower that just destroys the evil. Okay, it empowers everything good and destroys the evil. And so, please share, please like, please comment. And this is because things are really happening. And this is for the sake of El Paso. Of course, it's for the sake of our son. It is for the sake of Juarez also, big time. It's for the sake of Texas and how Texas goes, how our country goes, how the world goes. Texas is just that important. So if you're in Texas, if you're in the United States, if you're in the world, this case is very, very important for you to share, for you to talk about, for you to see that this is a network that absolutely works to allow criminals doing the worst type of crimes to act with impunity or get a very light sentence. You see that, and then get defended by the very attorney of Danae Katzen, who is part of the FOP for Anthony Acuna, which I don't think is a finished case yet. Okay, I don't think so. Because Julio Cordero, the Poison Ponds FBI agent, is very important. He's very important because of his work that he did in Poison Ponds 1. We're Poison Ponds 2. Richard is Poison Ponds 2. The work that he did in Poison Ponds 1 is very, very important. And we're getting more and more information out because of, don't forget, Brookshier is also family connected to Delia Briones, so the Briones family, right? That was part of Poison Ponds 1, connected to Julio Cordero. So this is how we're connecting all of this, and it's more and more. You just see it clearly, and when I get more and more confirmation about certain things, I will absolutely tell you to fill in any gaps, any questions you have. So please put your questions out there. It's really, really crazy busy, so be very, very patient getting back. And we're at a very top level with President Trump's help, and focusing on what Woody Hunt has been doing, the criminality of it, with Governor Abbott, because Governor Abbott is very, he's very powerful. He's one of the most powerful men in the world, and people don't realize that because he runs Texas, and as Texas goes, so goes the United States, so goes the world. So Governor Abbott is very important here, and he's been absolutely in the clutch of Woody Hunt. And that is really important for everyone to understand the level that we're working at here behind the scenes. And really, it's just with God's hand is all over this. It's just all over this, and I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope that I covered everything that I wanted to talk about today, because I'm just doing it by memory, and the day has been so full. So just a lot happening, and know that we are working behind the scenes um, to make we are working behind the scenes in communion with with the saints and the heavenly hosts. I can say that. Amen. Absolutely. So they are fellow servants, and we are absolutely working together with them to bring justice, to bring accountability, to find our son's remains. Well, we know where that they have them, to bring his remains home and to get accountability, but also whatever God has in store for this whole thing. It's just yeah, you just have to say it's all in your hands, God, and move forward. Keep moving forward. So thank you so much. Uh, a lot of being a military family, you don't always know what the general has in mind, right? You don't always you have to trust your general, right? We have to trust our commander in chief, and and the big boss is God. So you just have to trust, and you have to keep serving. And so, thank you. Please comment, and absolutely share. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I'll be back.